Hey guys, welcome to my channel. If you don't know who I am, I'm Thriftastic Mom. I wanted to show you how I wrap my hamburger meat. Just got through doing a grocery haul, and I remembered somebody had asked me a while back to show how I break down my hamburger meat. I grocery shop every 2 weeks, so I'll buy a big pack of ground beef like this and break it down into several meals. And somebody had asked me would I show them how to do it, and then I kind of forgot about it, of course. So I thought I just thought about it after I got through putting up my groceries, that I would go ahead and just show you how I do it. It's really simple. A lot of you probably already know how to do it, but since they asked me to do it and it's simple and easy enough, I thought I'd do it and show you just how I do it. I know we all cook different things, so first thing I like to do is kind of figure out what I'm going to use the meat for. Buy the big pack of meat. The big pack of meat was $14.83, and you know, when you break that down into several meals, it don't cost you. It's $14.83, of course, but it's only so many bucks per meal. Okay guys, I'm just sitting here at my kitchen table. I got all the things I'll need out. I'll just sit down here and get everything ready. I got, of course, my big pack of meat laying here. It's got to be opened, so I always grab me a knife just to open that. And I grab me a marker so I can mark what the meat is inside the pack. And I grab me some Ziploc storage bags. I get these at Dollar General. They're the Smart and Simple. They're pretty good bags. And then these aluminum sheets. Now if you don't have aluminum sheets, you can use aluminum foil. I just get these. You can get these 30 of these at Dollar Tree for $1, and they're pretty good. They're really thick, decent paper. They're not cheap like you think they would be coming from Dollar Tree, and they're pretty good size. So that's what I'm going to be using to wrap my meat and put it in the freezer. Okay. The first thing I'll do here, of course, I'm trying to get you at that glare. It's over in the evening and the sun's glaring in my window. Whew, that was loud. I've already washed my hands, so I got my meat here ready to get out and put on my paper. And I usually always like to wrap my meat. Put my meat over here so I can get to it. I like to wrap my meat in aluminum foil and then maybe put it in Ziploc bags just to give it a little bit of extra coverage so it won't get freezer burnt. You know, after you leave meat in your freezer for a certain amount of time, of course it can get freezer burnt, but we usually use our meats up before anything like that gets freezer burnt. So anyway, I sat down, looked at what I had bought from my grocery haul to decide, you know, what I'm going to make. Which, you know, we are all very repetitious about cooking, so a lot of times we kind of cook the same things over and over and over. Or, you know, you may not, just like it's just me and my husband, so we don't, you know, I don't do a lot of homemade cooking and stuff like that. It's just a lot of ingredients and a lot of time cooking just for 2 people. And if I had a big family, I might would do that. But, you know, just me and him, I don't do it. So I pretty much end up cooking a lot of the same stuff over the 2 weeks. You know, try to change it up a little bit every now and then, get something different. But it's pretty much the same thing. And I know we all go through that. I watch grocery hauls all the time, and I'm not the only one that buys the same stuff over and over, you know, because that's just the way it is, unless you find new recipes or something like that. And I don't do a lot of recipe cooking. But anyway, I've decided, you know, I'm going to make up some patties because my husband loves the mushroom gravy with Swiss cheese. And y'all notice I had, if you've seen my haul, I have bought a pack of Swiss cheese. So I'm just going to make up like 2 good sized patties or a couple little patties, I'm not sure yet. You know, just to, I try not to make over what I need. So I'll make me a couple patties. Just like hamburger patties. You know, make them as big as you want. Make as many as you need for your family. I usually do like 2 patties. If I'm making them smaller, I'll make like 3 little patties. And then maybe me 2 little patties. I always make mine less than what he has. So I'll just patty us up some patties like that. And I'll lay them in like the edge of my paper here. 2 of them. And then I'll just flip them over. Like that. To give them that little bit of coverage, see. So there's 2 for him. And then I'll make me 2. And you can do it, you know, if you're making these for hamburgers or whatever, you can do them the same way. And it's just giving them a little bit of protection in between them. You don't have to do it like that. You can stack them right on top of each other. This is just the way that I like to do it. Alright, so I got me 2 patties. And then I'll take it and flip that over. And then it's like that. So you got 2, both sets of patties are separate from each other. That's the way I like to do it. Now if you got using regular aluminum foil, of course it's going to cover it up. And this is pretty much close to the edge. It's like that. But since I'm using the foil sheets, I always use a second sheet. Just to, you know, package up my meat really good. Make sure them edges are covered. And then I'll roll it up again. And then just tuck them little corners down. And this is my hamburger patties for my Swiss hamburger patties. And you can do them, you know, you can do Swiss hamburger patties on hamburger buns, or you can just cook them up, which I normally do, and just serve them on your plate without bread. Then I just stick them into a little Ziploc bag like this. This is a gallon size bag, and zip it up. This is really all I do, and I don't have any trouble with it. I have just put my meat right into the freezer without a bag if I didn't have any bags. And I'll kind of try to push out the air. Then I'll just kind of roll it up like that, put it in my freezer. Then I grab my handy dandy marker here, and I'll write what it's for. Swiss patties. Just like that. Swiss patties. That way I know, because nobody cooks around here but me. So I know what it is and what it's for. Okay? So the next thing I may do, get me some hamburger meat, is we haven't had a hamburger steak in a while, so I thought I would make some hamburger steaks. So I'll just patty out my meat for a hamburger steak. And I always patty it out. I don't put it in a ball because it takes your meat longer to thaw out if you freeze it in balls. So I always go ahead and pat it out like the hamburger steak. That way it's thin and it don't take me all day to thaw it out when I want to cook it. So that's a pretty good, decent size hamburger steak. Of course it'll draw up a little. I'm going to pick it up and I'm just going to lay it on the edge, just like I did my patties, so I can flip it over. And then I'll put my other one on top here. So I'll grab some of that, and then I'll just pat out another one on top of that one. Just like so. Ain't got to be perfect, because after you thaw it out, you can always reshape it a little, but I would, you know, mash it out so it's thin. Just like that. So now I got 2 hamburger steak patties patted out to be thawed out. And then I'll just, you know, flip that over. And then both of them is not touching each other. It don't matter if they touch, y'all. This is just my preference. You know, a lot of times if you have two patties or two pieces of meat touching and you try to pull them apart, if they're not quite unthawed, they'll be all stuck together. They may tear up your meat. So that's why I like to keep a section in between, you know, a piece of aluminum foil in between my pieces of meat. That way, if I happen to pull them apart early, they won't tear all up. So I'll just go ahead and roll these up in my second sheet of paper. And just kind of tuck in the ends. Put these in my bag. Alright. And then there's my 2 hamburger steaks. So I'll write 2 hamburger steaks. Like that. I forgot to get my scale out. I usually get this out. This is kind of what I use if I put anything on eBay and stuff and I ship things out. I like to weigh it so I can know what to charge for postage. Well, I use this in my kitchen too when I need it. And all I do is I like to weigh out 2 pounds of meat because I'm going to make a little meatloaf because I think my son's going to come over and have dinner with us like on Sunday or something. So I'm going to lay my piece of aluminum foil on top. I always use exactly 2 pounds of meat in my meatloaf recipe. So I'm going to go ahead and stack some meat on. See how much we got. Alright, that's 2 pounds. 2.1 pounds, so we'll take off just a little bit. That should be about 2 pounds right there. 2 pounds of meat makes a good sized meatloaf. Alright. Let's set this over here out of my Aldi. So now this is what I'm going to have for my meatloaf. It's all on this one piece of paper here. So I'm just going to kind of pat it together so I can wrap it up. And that's my meatloaf meat. That's pretty much all I do. I'll take my other piece of paper, flip it over on it, and wrap it up. Real simple. Real simple, of course. Most of y'all know how to do this. There might be some young people out there that ain't never done nothing like this. Try to break down their meat. Alright. And then that's my meatloaf meat. So, with this being said, with what I got left, I think I got enough patties left here to make a couple hamburgers. So that's probably just what I'm going to do. So that'll be his hamburgers. And then with what I got left, I'll make me a hamburger. And then I will wrap up this meat. That way it's fully covered. 3 hamburger patties. About 4 packs here. Different meals out of that one big hamburger patty. One big hamburger pack. And it was, say, 15 bucks. So if you broke that down, 4 times 4 is 16. So it's a little bit less than $4 per meal. So that's pretty much how I do it, y'all. That's how I wrap up my meat and package it. Nothing fancy. It works for me. And I know what I have in the freezer when I'm ready to pull it out. I know what I'm getting. And it works great. It's really simple. You can use freezer paper and freezer tape and all that stuff if you want. But to me, it's just simple to do it like this. It works fine. So I hope you enjoyed seeing how I pack my meat up here for the freezer. If you have any comments, leave them down below. I'll like up this video if you liked it. And subscribe to my channel if you're not subscribed. And I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.